second episode in the series of implicit memory. In our previous episode, we spoke about what is implicit memory and how it impacts one's life. Today, we will let us know more about implicit memory, the layers of it and how it functions without our knowledge. So, welcome and let's take this opportunity to ask Dr. Asha more about implicit memory.
Yeah, there's a wonderful philosophy which clearly mentions the layers of implicit memory. That is our Kosha philosophy. So when we talk about, Annamaya Kosha, do you remember Dipti when I think each one of us would have experienced that we jolt? It's only because our body remembers certain experiences. It might be you would have had experience in a theatre. Before you go to theatre, that particular theatre, you carry that memory, you would have forgotten. When you grow, a lot of things will go out of your mind. But whenever you see the theatre, you feel cold, maybe your feet, your calf muscles will respond, or you will feel that heaviness in the shoulder. It might be any place, person. Your body remembers certain experiences.
Okay.
So that is about the Annamaya Kosha. That is the food we eat do carry certain memories. So when the child goes to the school for the first day, how he is treated in the school matters. For him to develop that wish to go to school. And when I just take your hand and drag to the school, I will tell you, I put you to the dark room. What happens to the child mind and how the body was treated. So why do you think that children do develop body image issues? So these are all the subconscious experiences that settle down and the body starts responding to it.
But our mind is unaware.
Unaware. Consciously, this 7-year-old wants to go to school because it wants to see the friends, but the way this body was treated, the way the body was made fun of, maybe the uniform is not fitting. It might be very silly to us for adults. For children, it's big. And it do happens to us also.
Correct.
When the boss change, another boss comes in, the most comfortable place will become the place of my discomfort. This because my body is not comfortable. So it is very important whenever I see this, tutors and their arrangement of seatings. I feel very sorry for the students who sit on the chair for 3-4 hours. Because that body is so uncomfortable when you are learning. That is why in Gurukula it was always nature. They made them sit in Sukhasana. Sukhasana, Padmasana, that is where the learning happens. If your body is not comfortable, the Anandamaya becomes weaker.
Okay.
And you may not feel to eat, you become a fuzzy eater. These are all the byproducts that I am telling. And the wish to do something, desire to grow. So we don't know small things will affect our life in a very big way. And the second layer of the implicit memory is our pranamaya kosha, the energetic patterns. How my energy was treated. I am such a Joshila person, So when I was a child, I wanted to do everything I was taught.
Or nowadays they label. They Google, they label.
Yes. And I want to become an actress. Whenever I stood before the mirror and start practicing it, people made fun of me. They compared me. So my energy, where the channel was being unwired. And rewiring never happened because I did not get that motivating person in my life. So all my energy carries a kind of memory. Before this energy oozes out and multiplies, because the energy what I want in the childhood is not the similar or the same quantum of energy what I need in my adulthood. The nature and the pattern keep changing. So I may not be adaptable to the change. That is the biggest byproduct of not seeing the energy drives in children.
Not letting them experience their energy patterns.
Exactly. Because we feel we know everything and we want to guide. But the child who is exhibiting or displaying that kind of energetic pattern want to experience. So we are raising inexperienced children who are being taught looking at pictures, this is water, this is air and this is fire. Right? So my energy is having lack of memory, which is also making me a weaker person when it comes to unconventional dias for me to perform life.
So, from what we said, what is coming to my mind is this lack of Annamaya Kosha implicit memory and lack of healthy Pranamaya Kosha memory is not making the current generation to be street smart.
Yes, exactly.
They can't adapt, they can't be spontaneous, they want a manual, they want an instructor.
Perfect.
Okay.
So when we get into Manomaya Kosha, it's all about emotional patterns, how my emotions were treated. My emotions also carry certain kind of memory. When I cried for the first time, there is an experience that settled down with my sadness. How my sadness was received from the environment, how it was treated, and how difficult was that for me to express that sadness depends upon the lifelong grief process that I have to be in. When I lose something and when I go to my parents and talk about it, I will have my own calculation as a 7-year-old. Will she blame? Will she understand? Will she talk about the material loss? So that helped me in future to deal about bigger grief when I lose bigger things in life. So that is when I lose that opportunity to be a sportive person. So failure is a trauma. I can't handle failure and I either can't handle success because that experience is being taken out by the caregivers telling that material loss is bigger than you. This is a very small example in the bigger window that I am letting you know that emotions do carry its memory and that builds your Manomaya Kosha. Your mindset towards a lot of approaches. It might be a new relationship that you are going to get into, or it might be a new job and new career. Any new thing and your adaptability with new things depends upon the kind of emotional patterns and the way the environment has reacted to it. That is Manomaya Kosha, that builds your Manomaya Kosha, which we in Adhyatma speak about Satchit Anand. So to reach Anandamaya Kosha, Chitta is very much important, your Manas is very much important. And next is the Vijnanamaya Kosha. This is a beautiful thing. Till today, I think each one of us are going through this kind of experiences that our questions do carry memories.
Such as?
Unanswered questions. There's a 5-year-old asking mother and father, which is putting them to awkward place, how did I come on this earth? And the way they respond, sometimes we don't want to. We push that question away. Sometimes we push that person only away. Okay? I don't want to tell, come on, go and play. If that is my response, then whenever I question, this memory comes and hits me. No, you are not supposed to ask. So these are the kids, if you see them, they study very well, but they lack in questioning. They know the whole concept. If you tell them, they speak the textbooks. But when a question is asked, they lack in the capacity or competency to write answers to those questions. Do you know what is the power that we are taking away from children?
Intellect.
Yes. Intellect. Intelligence is writing an answer to the question. Intellect is raising a question out of answer.
True. Very
right?
true. You're becoming losing the question of inquisitiveness and exploration. You're becoming investigative.
Correct. In a bigger picture, if I have to tell, this child will lack in the skill of integrity. The child will not be able to integrate with anything. 3-4 tasks given together, the child may not be able to handle. That will be the state. And how do you expect a leader out of so many messed up conflicts and circumstances? So it is important today to understand that creating a positive memory with respect to Annamaya to Anandamaya Kosha is responsibility of every caregiver.
Yeah. So is this only applicable during childhood, or does this also apply for an adult?
It applies for everybody. I just took childhood as a phase so that the viewers can relate to their actions. It is applicable to all age. Say that Deepthi, tomorrow you marry and you go to a new place. How the environment accepts you. How you are treated as a person. How your emotions are treated. You know, how your body, when you sit and stand, how you as a person who is carrying your sharira or who is into your gross body, or what we call it as stula sharira, you know, who is participating in every circumstances, is being treated, is being accepted, is very important. Lot of times what happens, the bahya beauty becomes more than the antarika. You know, either the beauty is worshipped or we keep labels, we keep nicknames, you know. So it starts from stula sharira. It enters Sukshma, and by the time it penetrates to Karana, she would have given up on her everything, relationship, life, goals, everything. So it is a penetrating, how radiation penetrates through your body, enters your mind and slowly kills you. The same way, this implicit memory, the way you are treated, the way your body is accepted, the way your Sukshma is accepted, the Karana is accepted, your purpose. As a girl, if I have to speak about the purpose if I am newly wedded, it takes a lot of grit for a person. She has to rehearse.
Correct.
Right? What is your purpose of life? She has to define. Okay, there is a old person sitting, he may not like or she may not like. She has to mentally calculate so much before she speaks. And it is not limited to woman. Man has his own challenge to face. You know, to treat his girl, he may take a lot of time because mother is watching.
Implicit memory of not alone, don't.
Exactly. So it is not limited to childhood. So whenever you get into a new phase, as I told you, it might be a new relationship, it might be a new job, new career, new opportunities. This memory plays a vital role. That is the reason I always request parents to, they spend all their life. No parent is bad. You know, they would have had great dreams for their children. But what is missing is, in these dreams, children are not there. Right? So bringing children and gifting their own childhood the way they want to lead it will build that strong and positive implicit memory that can carry each child from good to great.
So it's like, don't keep them the fish, keep them the skills to fish.
Exactly.
Yes, thank you. So when we understand how memory penetrates, we usually use the phrase memory is created, memory is recalled, but today we understood that memory penetrates through self, the layers of self, and it does penetrate in different dimensions and layers. So thank you, Dr. Asha, for giving us this perspective, which is very unique. Right? We create memories. That memory can have its impact is what we are learning, and how it percolates to our self layer by layer. That is really what I say. I was in wonder. This was a wonder experience. Thank you for such an experience. I hope our viewers also go through that experience of wonder, that yes, memory travels. Thank you all for your time.
Pranams.
Pranam.